Okay. Battlefield 2042. Bad. Pretty much it. Kind of wishing that I had purchased it through regular channels instead of getting $13 off through a CDP reseller, because that way I could cancel the pre-order, refund it, get the money back. Quite frankly, it just is not very good. For the beta, at least, it kinda, sorta, still has a class system. You've got 4 specialists. Each of them kinda, sort of fits something resembling an archetype from the old classes. I guess if you consider whatever game switched it back so that it was Assault had the ammo and Support had the medic. Bad Company 2, I think. I have no recollection as to what 3 was like. Never played 1 online, played 5 online for a short period of time. It was god-awful. You can't fucking see anything. That shit-ass TAA. It's too fucking blurry. So it's not worth playing. Yeah, I got one douchebag with a Battlefield 2 Special Operations grappling hook shit. You got some engineer dude, some old drunk Russian guy. He has a turret for some reason as the engineer. A really shitty auto turret that highlights an enemy that it sees but does fuck all. You got the useless bush Wookiee as always. You got, well, I guess I should say what he has. He has a drone for recon that kinda, sorta, you can look at people and auto spot. There's no spot. There's no communication rows. There's no comm rows. You just kind of auto spot when you look at something, and then you can optionally press an extra button to put a retarded fucking marker on the screen. What's the point? Why did you get rid of the comm rows? Battlefield 4 had that perfect. And then you got some granny. It's a woman that looks like she's at least 50, 60 years old, but had a bit of Botox, bit of facelift, so she doesn't look all wrinkly. She's a medic. What's the medic do? Well, the medic does not hand out useful medical boxes so you can stand around and heal up rather quickly. No. The medic fucks around with a shitty little revolver that shoots very slow darts with a very short drop-off range before the darts fall to the ground. And especially with this shit-ass netcode in the beta, you're not likely to hit shit. So basically, if you like climbing around, you play the Assault McKay guy. If you like having some slight inclination towards trying to secure an area, you play the engineer guy. There's no reason to play anybody else. But every time you launch into a server, by the way, there's no server browser. There's no server browser. You press the button, you get match made into a random server. For the majority of the first night that I played it, I was put in games exclusively at the very ass end of them. So I had no time to learn how to play the game. I'd get in, I'd die like 3 times. The match would be over. Time elapsed, 3 minutes. Then I hop into the next one. I didn't get much footage out of this. A lot of recording problems, some issues with apparently certain games. If the GPU usage gets high enough, then basic simplistic shit that a fucking $50 tablet from 7 years ago can run just fine, like videos on an alternate monitor, Discord just sitting there on another monitor. It locks up and stops working properly. So yeah, I didn't get footage. You just slapped into a match. Is there going to be a server browser in the final version? Or is it just going to be random matchmaking? Throw you into a game? not looking good. Eventually, the random number generator decided that it should throw me into a few matches that actually give me time. And it wasn't much better. I did... Well, now you can hardly tell how well you did. You get a small display of what your kill-death ratio counters and shit are when you hold tab in the upper right corner. You get no indication whatsoever how many kills anybody on your team had, how many deaths anybody on your team had, how many assists. You see some numbers for your squad only. Those numbers are a combined kill and assist. And some other dumb shit, no deaths. You can't even fucking tell how your team's doing. At a glance in Battlefield 4, you just tap. Oh, no wonder we're running like 400 tickets and the enemy team has 950. There's some douchebag down here at the bottom going like 7 and 38 and he's constantly bitching in chat. Oh, no wonder. No wonder we're losing. Oh, that's right, there's no chat. There might be voice chat. I disabled it specifically because I don't want to hear random faggots on Battlefield talk. Especially not in the modern era where like voice chat's gonna be a bunch of fucking faggot redditors whining and reporting you for texticity. There's no text chat. Where'd that go? Because when with any of the combos, you can't communicate with your teammates at all. So all the guns are fucking shit. They're trash, garbage. SMGs, you've got, as a starter, a not Chris Super V. Handles like shit, performs like shit, does damage like shit, has accuracy like shit, not worth using. You've got effectively a not MP5, maybe more like the, whatever the hell it's called. There's an AR variant that fires 9mm as a submachine gun, but it's built on the AR platform. It's a not version of that, basically. It's marginally better, but not very good. For some ungodly reason, most of the guns provide a red dot sight that looks like shit. Like the sort of thing a quote-unquote historically accurate World War II or World War I shooter would do to provide you with a red dot sight because they're too fucking scared to leave you just sights that actually existed in those periods and were in actual use, like regular scopes and irons. Kids can't aim with fucking irons. And that's not some Neo 4chan whining about Zoomers shit. Like, kids is just a general derogatory term here. People in general just fucking suck. Can't use irons. They need some sort of red dot optical. We're gonna give them some stupid retarded shit that looks like a fucking magnifying glass. It's the sort of thing you'd expect to see out of some fucking jury-rigged caper in some goddamn post-apocalyptic game. Like, it reminds me of the fake red dots that you saw in New Dawn. Most of the guns have that instead of a regular red dot. With assault rifles, you have yet another not AR-15 based rifle. Probably rolling off the M416 or something like that. Mediocre at best. And you've got a not AK as a second unlock for that. It sucks. It's worse in every way possible. Barely hits anything every single time you die, unlike any other weapon in the game. You have to manually reset all your attachments for that not AK. It doesn't save them between lives. Everything else, yeah, at least saved them within that round. You'd only have to reset and reconfigure everything when you load it out and load it back into a new round. Attachments are complete fucking shit anyway, in general. There's no label, no indication as to what they are. There's just a little sidebar that gives you a couple plus or minus 5s. So you've got irons, basic irons. You've got the retarded red dot. On a handful of weapons like that, not M416, and the second SMG, it's a normal looking red dot. On the other weapons, it's that retarded one. Then you've got a not ACOG. And then there's that combo sight, the one that's basically a not ACOG, but it also has a red dot on top. It's not documented anywhere, but apparently sometimes when it feels like working, when you're aiming down the sight with that, you can press F to switch between the two. It's not documented anywhere in the controls. I bound ping to F to make it like Battlefield 4. So that's what I use for the comros, for spotting, and then hold it down to select a chat command in a competently made game. Saying that about Battlefield 4 when it took them many months after release to make it not shit is really saying something in comparison here. Basically all the sites suck. There's some pointless filter over all of them. It's just not good. With one sniper that I saw, I don't know if there's another one. I got up to level 15 at max. I don't know if it went any further by the time I hit that point, because I played a good few hours, but I wasn't going to play Badfield 2042 all goddamn day, 2 days in a row. There's a 6x scope, at best, for the sniper, which is pitiful. Even in Battlefield 4, where the draw distance really fucking sucked. You got 14 times, 12 times, 20 times scopes. And right now it's looking like the max number of attachments is 4 on your weapon, and 3 in each group. Which is pitiful compared to what you had in Battlefield 4. Again, I'm going off of that one because that's one I've played the most. I don't give a fuck about 1 or 5 because they're both dog shit. But you got a sequel here that's doing everything worse than an older game. I deeply regret spending fucking money on this. What other weapons do we have? There's one LMG, 100 round in the mag, box mag. Generic, it sucks. Mediocre. You got the sniper, generic bolt action, it sucks. It sucks just the same as any other Battlefield sniper, really. You can get a decent shot off on somebody, just see a hit marker, curse your life, and you can get shot once by the very same weapon, not a headshot. It doesn't give you a headshot marker. It just says it's just the regular body shot. You're at full health, one shot, you're dead. Typical shit. There's a generic pump action shotgun that's completely fucking useless. It acts like it's firing a slug, so it's only actually hitting where that crosshair is. The crosshair is just a single dot in the center of the screen. It doesn't have a spread indicator. It doesn't matter if you're using slugs or buckshot. It's just that one little dot that it hits. It does no damage. What's the point? And for pistols, you got a not G17. Useless. Only attachment it has is you can slap a red dot on top. And then there's a generic 44 Magnum. Looks pretty much exactly the same as the one for Battlefield 4. The other one I think you might be able to put a scope on, I don't remember. You could swap out the ammo for AP. It doesn't say armor piercing or anti-personnel. It just raises the damage value a little bit. Also sucks. with automatic weapons, the SMGs and the... I don't remember if the SMGs have any alternate ammos. Assault rifles, you can switch between regular mag, an extended mag that gives you obviously more ammo, but it shits on all of your fucking stats, including firepower. You lose bullet damage by having more bullets in a mag. And then you can optionally switch to a smaller mag for no fucking reason. Lose 10 bullets in the mag. And it gives you a little bit more firepower. Trash. Bottom attachments. You got a generic foregrip. Remember when there used to be a choice between 6 or 7 of them? Half of those were duplicates of each other, but the other options were alternate displays. Make it look how you want it. That's gone. With the rifles, there is a grenade launcher, but it's completely fucking useless. You could get a direct hit on somebody from far enough away that it actually explodes instead of just slapping them. Just pitiful, tiny little bit of damage. It's trash. Completely useless. Destructibility hardly fucking exists. There's more destructibility in Far Cry. And I'm not talking about 2, where they ramp that shit way up to compete with Crysis. I'm talking the gimped versions that they've copy-pasted from 3 through 6. Where you can't even destroy a fucking tree. Buildings you cannot destroy anymore. You can knock out a couple walls eventually with super high explosives, but only some of them. Doors are pretty much invulnerable unless they happen to be a man door and you blow up the wall next to them. The ground gets a little beat up if there's a really large explosion, that's about it. How is it that a game made for the Xbox 360 primarily, Bad Company 1, let alone 2, has proper destructibility? Like really good shit. And everything that came after that was fucking gimped. There isn't even Levolution. On occasion it fucking rains. That's it. There's no big ass tower coming down. There's no dam exploding and flooding the area. There's no rising water level. It just sometimes rains a little, gets a little cloudy. It looked passable. Visuals were passable. I played it completely maxed out. 1440p, 2080 Ti. Frame rate was not as good as I'd prefer, but it was over 70. It's not in any way bad. But despite that, it didn't seem possible to get the mouse movement to be anything but shit. On one hand, it seemed to copy the values over from other Battlefield games that I've installed, including 4. And at times, the mouse movement felt like it was how it's supposed to be. Like it does in Battlefield 4 when I'm playing that. At other times, it seems to chop up, especially when there's a firefight. Either it just bogs down too slow or speeds up too fast, all entirely automated on its own whenever there's actually a need for competency at aiming. You hop into a vehicle, set it to one setting, and it feels like molasses. Set it to another setting. It's not only going too fast, but it's also going too slow at the same time. You can have raw mouse input set in the settings. I always do that when it's on option, because fuck acceleration, it's garbage. It doesn't matter. Game doesn't read the input. Same as pressing M to open up the map. It doesn't work. It ignores it. It doesn't care. So like, it's especially bad in a tank. In a tank, trying to aim around, it's like playing with a fucking controller at the lowest sensitivity level. Just drags very slowly around and around. And that brings me to vehicle balance. That is going to be god-awful fucking toilet shite. Once again. As if it wasn't already bad in 4. As if it wasn't already worse in 2. From what little experience I have with 2. Ground vehicles, not very good. Like, 2 people can nuke a full health tank in like 30 seconds with the Carl Gustav, or not Carl Gustav, whatever they want to claim the recoilless rifle is. Meanwhile, all the air vehicles, anti-air machine gun fire, you can barely touch it. If it actually does make contact, it does decent damage. That depends on it actually hitting and registering. Any form of lock-on missile, well, it's just like 4. You get the lock-on, they pop flares. Then you wait, and you wait, and you wait. Oh look, I can get a lock-on again. There we go. Oh, they pop flares again. And what's worse, the anti-air handheld launcher that you have in the beta. There's a say if they'll have a Stinger version in the full game as well. But the one that's in the beta is the type that you have to hold the lock on the entire time, not the fire and forget type. So, like 30 people are getting raped at any given moment by an air vehicle. You try to take it out while you're fucking around trying to get it sighted in, locked in, and shoot it. Even if you get a single hit in, you're dead. As if the air vehicle doesn't just shit on you, you get the butt of a rifle shoved up your ass by some faggot on the ground. Classes, shifting back to that. Total mess. I could mention the stupid gear that each of the specialists have. All of your actual class gear, you can only grab one of in slot 4. Universal for every specialist. An intelligence thing in Battlefield 4, just to use that as a single example. You're playing engineer, you grab you a decent weapon, be it a DMR, which by the way, the DMR in this game sucks. It's complete shit. Grab yourself a DMR, carbine, PDW, shotgun, doesn't matter. Get your regular weapon loadout, whatever you prefer. Slot 3, grab yourself a rocket launcher. Anti-ground, anti-air, depending on what the situation is. Slot 4, grab yourself some ground mines, an AA mine, or a repair tool, depending on the situation. This game, you want to play some sort of engineer. Well, first, fuck yourself. You can't. Then after you're done with that, suffering in the painful post-nut clarity, you grab whatever's the closest. A specialist that's kind of closest to that. So that's the old drunk Russian guy with this shitty turret. And guess what? You can grab a launcher or a repair tool or a C4. There's no mine, just C4. One. You can choose one. You can't load up properly. You just have to choose one. Let's say you want to play a medic. A proper medic. Or you want to play the support guy that's racking up thousands of fucking points a minute. Because everybody's shooting their guns, using up all their ammo, and bam, look at that. There's an ammo box. Everybody's getting restocked automatically. Nice. Well, I suppose in a way you can play a proper medic or a restocking supply guy. But guess what? You grab that health box, grab that ammo box. You're fucked. You can't grab anything else. You can't slap a medic box next to revive paddles, or if you're the standard Battlefield 4/Battlefield 3 assault player, you eschew any sort of reviving tool for the shitty grenade launcher instead. Can't do that. Not an option. One or the other. You want to make sure an ammo box with a mortar. Oh, guess what? Mortars don't exist. Maybe a claymore for some perimeter defense. Mortars don't exist. Okay, fine. How about C4? Oh, no, you took the ammo box. You can't have the C4. Well, fuck yourself. No, fuck you, Leatherhead. Just a downgrade in every feasible way. I guess it kinda sorta has partial implementation of HDR. Ray tracing to some extent. That's nice and all, but the game sucks. Really, it's just a beta. It's just a beta. I don't give a fuck. I have very low hopes of the full game being any better than this. There's no reason whatsoever to assume it is going to be better. Basically, unimpressed. I'm not impressed. I'm not happy. I'm surprised this milk hasn't gone bad. I've been talking for like 30 minutes. Fan closest to me is off. 79.8 degrees here. In this room. By this computer. 64 outside. Nice, comfy, cool 64 outside. I still am, even in this big open area. A lot more room, a lot more airflow. 64 degrees outside translates to almost 80 degrees near the computer. This milk hasn't gone sour yet, thankfully. I didn't expect this to take so long. I guess since I'm stuck with this, I can't, as far as I'm aware, you can't refund cdkeys.com sales. I'm gonna be stuck with it, so whenever the fuck this piece of shit comes out, I guess I'll be obliged to see how the release goes. Otherwise, this is wasted money. Wasted money is wasted money. Can't afford wasted money at this point. No campaign. No single player portion. Not that there was any good in 5 or 1. Last Battlefield, that had a good playable campaign. It was Hardline. And that was locked at, like, fucking zoomed in binoculars strapped to your face field of view. Who knows, maybe Portal will be better. Maybe everybody will stop playing Battlefield 4, move over to 2042, find that it's shit, and just switch over to private servers or public servers on Portal, set to the Battlefield 4 game mode. Who knows?